Ready, set, action! Verbs. A quickie review for all of us. What the heck are verbs? Verbs are words of action which describe all the many things we do. For example, Jack swims. Joan reads. I walk to the park. Beyonce screams. Okay, Beyonce sings. Verbs are the focus of the action in any sentence. Anytime you want to figure out what a sentence is about or what the action is, look for the verb. It will give you so many clues. For example, if I say, Homer Simpson strangles Bart at least once every episode, you know that the action of the sentence, the verb, is strangles. Now that's pretty simple, and I'm sure you know this, but the ways in which we structure sentences is all pretty much based on this. It is all about how we use verbs. But there are many varieties of verbs and many variations. For example, have you conjugated a verb lately? Would you admit it in public if you did? For example, to conjugate the verb to sneeze, you would go, I sneeze, you sneeze, we sneeze, they sneeze. Gesundheit. But he sneezes, she sneezes, it sneezes. So to conjugate is to match up verbs with nouns or pronouns to make sense. I run, you run, he runs, she runs, they run, we run, it runs. Notice that verbs not only tell what the action is, but when the action is done. For example, the past, the present, or the future. These, as you know, are called tenses, and they give us a great deal of information about the action taking place in the sentence. For example, I teach you, present tense. I taught you, past tense. I will teach you, future tense. There's even a future conditional tense. If I were hired, I would teach you. If you were willing, I could teach you. But warning, once you've chosen a tense, follow through with it for the duration of the sentence. Conjugate properly. You wouldn't say, I is texting my friends, but I am texting my friends. If we had an iPad, we can watch the same movies as our friends, but if we had an iPad, we could watch the same movies as our friends. Or if we have an iPad, we can watch the same movies as our friends. The problem with technology are that robots is expensive to build, but the problem with technology is that robots are expensive to build. There's also a very important group of verbs known as state of being verbs. They describe what something or someone is, the state of existence they are in. They help us understand a definition, as in, I am happy, or it is a ball. The state of being verbs include is, am, was, were, be, being, and been. That means you're describing a process of action versus the action itself. I am going to the movies versus I go to the movies. We are talking about sauerkraut versus we talk about sauerkraut. He was singing badly versus he sang badly. Stative being verbs and passive verbs all have their time and place, but sentences that are considered passive are those that use stative being verbs, while active sentences use active verbs. A be verb. A boomerang was responsible for hitting Joey in the head. Passive verb. Joey was hit in the head by a boomerang. Active verb. A boomerang hit Joey in the head. So, if you look at a sentence, check out the verb. It will tell you the action of the sentence, the tense of the action, whether it was passive or active, and who did what to whom.